Hello everyone. So now we are going to do the MST. If you remember here, till now whatever we discuss, configure and verify spanning tree protocol, we discuss what is a spanning tree, why we are using, all theory we discuss. So and also we finish RSTP. So now we are going to discuss the MST, multiple spanning tree. So why we want to go for MST? Let's see here. It is very simple topic. Many guys confuse in this one, but no need to confuse. What we are saying MST. If you remember, we can create the VLAN here. We can create VLAN 10, 20, 30. Maybe we have 200 VLAN. Imagine we have 200 VLAN in this switch as well as in this switch. So a spanning tree protocol is going to work for each and every VLAN. So a spanning tree protocol will work for VLAN 1, 2, 3, so on till 200 VLAN it will work. Spanning tree working means it is not just like a running, it is doing the calculation. They are going to check who will be the root bridge and they are going to check the MAC address, they are going to check the priority. So they are going to do the mathematical calculation also. So when they are doing the mathematical calculation, our switch CPU and RAM is going to utilize. If we have 200 VLAN, no problem. But imagine if we have 2000 VLAN, we will have the issue. But in the production network, if you are working in the enterprise network, we are taking maybe 300 VLAN or maybe more if you compare if we say more VLAN, so maximum we are using 500 VLAN, not more than this one in enterprise network. So in many organizations, they are not running this MST. But if you are working in the ISP, internet service provider, they have lot of customer. They have more VLAN, they have 2000 VLAN, they have 3000 VLAN. So in that case, we will use the MST. So why we are using MST? Why we need? So as we told, STP is working for separately for separate VLAN. If you see VLAN 1, VLAN 2, VLAN 3, separate calculation is going on in separate. VLAN is having separate STP. If you want to check, we will check here. Example, I will take this one. Let me take this. If you see here, this is the switch I have. This is a switch. What I will do here, I will create some VLAN for our lab purpose. First of all, let me check. Do we have VLAN here? Show VLAN brief. Okay, I have here some VLAN. So this one is the old switch. I think we have 80 VLAN. So maybe we have here also MST. Let me check. Show spanning tree. Do we have MST here? No, MST is not there. So I will write here show spanning tree. If you see, I wrote show spanning tree, this one. So it is showing me this is a VLAN 1 calculation, and if I press enter, I will see this is for only VLAN. This calculation whatever we see only for VLAN 1. But we have how many VLAN? We have VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. How we will create VLAN? We already know this one. How we will create VLAN? We already know. If anyone have confusion, let me write here. Just we need to write the VLAN and whatever VLAN number we will give like this. If I want to create VLAN 10, I will do like this. If I want to give name, I will give name IT or any name. This is the procedure. We have already, this is a old switch I am using. In this switch I already have some VLAN. If I want to check, how we will check show VLAN brief. When I check, I have VLAN 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Okay, I have 80 means this is one. I have total 8 VLAN here and one is a by default. So total 9 VLAN I have. So if I check for the STP, we will have STP is running separately for VLAN 1, separately for VLAN 10, separately for VLAN 30. But if I type here show spanning tree, I can see only for VLAN 1, I cannot see for the other VLAN. Why I cannot see? Because we need to put some port in that particular VLAN to check that one. Or another method we have. What is another method? We can put as a trunk in between the switch. If you see, if I make this port as a trunk here and here, then we can see also, because trunk is going to carry the multiple VLAN. So what I want to show you here, whenever we have more than one VLAN, separate STP is working for separate VLAN. It is consuming our CPU and RAM. But nowadays we have the good configuration switches, so no need to worry. Even if you create 200 or 300 VLAN, this switch will work. But if you are working in the production network, in ISP network, you will have 2000 or 3000 VLAN. In that case, you will have issue. To reduce that type of CPU and the RAM consuming, we will go for MST. So first of all, let me show you how multiple spanning tree is running when we have the multiple VLANs. So for that purpose, I will put this interface in the trunk. So how we will put interface in the trunk? We need to remember, whenever you are connecting two switch, we need to put that interface in the trunk. So how we will do that one? We will go in the global configuration mode, then we will write interface. I have two interface, so I will use as a range. So I am writing here E0 by 1, E0 by 0. So I will write range E0 by 0 dash 1. With this way I can select multiple interface. And then we will write switch port trunk encapsulation dot 1Q. This one we are using. If you want to check, we can check here. This is a old switch. It is available ISL also. But if you see new Cisco switch, this is not there, ISL. We already discussed what is ISL with what is dot 1Q trunking protocol. So nowadays everyone is using dot 1Q. If you see new Cisco switch is not having the ISL also. So this way we will create the trunk. These two commands we use to create the trunk when we have the layer 3. When we have the layer 3 switch, that time we need to put this command and this command. If you have layer 2, no need to put this, only this command we need to type. So what I done, I created the trunk in between this link. So now I will check. What I will check, I will write here show spanning tree. Press enter. And let me make this big. And if you see, this is the VLAN 1. And if we go like this, if you see here, this is for the VLAN 10, this calculation. And if you see, this is for the VLAN 20. And if we go like this, we will have VLAN 30, VLAN 50. All VLANs we will have that one. Okay, all VLANs we will have that one. So if you see, this one also we have. This is for VLAN 30. And this is for VLAN 40. If we go like this, we will have for the all VLAN. Here we have VLAN 50 also. If we go, we will have VLAN 60. So what I am saying, here multiple spanning tree. We have how many VLAN we have? That many spanning trees working. VLAN 70 separate, VLAN 80 separate. We created till VLAN 80, so we have the each calculation. Our switch is doing the calculation for each and every VLAN. If we see, we have the multiple table. If we see, we have the multiple table. This is the one table. From here to here, this is another table. So what I want to say you, whenever we have more VLAN, our switch is doing more calculation for the STP. Separate STP is working for separate VLAN. To overcome these types of issue, what we will do, we will create the MST. MST is nothing but multiple spanning tree. So what we will do, we will create one instance, we will create one group, and we will add here whatever VLAN we want to run. So example, if I add all VLAN, so this one group will run as a one STP. So what we will have, our CPU and RAM will not consume. Whatever VLAN we added here, that will work as a one. I will give you one example. Imagine you have 200 employees in your organization. They are working in your organization. Your manager told to apply some policy on that worker or the employees. So what you will do, you have Active Directory. You will do one by one, or maybe you will add in one group and you will apply the policy in that group only. So automatically whoever is inside that folder, they will get that policy. Same thing here, what we are doing, we are adding all the VLAN in one instance, in one group. So we will check that one, how we can do. how we can do that one. And now when we check, we have the multiple folder. When we check, we have multiple table. If you see, let me show you. This is for the 80, and if you see, this is for 60, and same like this is for 70. So we have multiple table here. When we do the MST, we will have one table. If we create one instance, we will have one table. If we create two, then we will have two. So in our lab, we will create two. Okay, we will create two to show you how it is working. So how we can create this one? How we can create means we need to let me write here commands, or let me take the notepad how we will do the configuration. Here I will write what we can say. This is a MS multiple spanning tree lab. I will write command here, so later you can revise also. I will write the configuration for switch 1 configuration. We will say enable, then we can write config t, then we can write host name S1. This is a basic configuration till now whatever we learn. And then I will write interface range E0 by 0 dash 1, and we will create switch port trunk encapsulation dot 1q. This command I wrote just now, and we write switch port mode trunk. So with this one we make the trunk, or if you want, we have already here, we can copy directly. We use this one. Anyhow, I wrote already. So this command, this command I wrote here, whatever we use. And let me write here, we created the VLAN. So I write VLAN 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So we created this VLAN. So this is a configuration in the switch 1, whatever I done just now, whatever we have. And let me copy and paste for the switch 2. I will modify here whatever we change here. If you see, this is a switch 2, this one, and same interface, so this remains same. So this is a configuration, basic configuration present in this switch. Okay, let me copy and paste this. Instead of shortcut, I will copy and paste this here in this place. So this is a configuration present in our switch. Now we need to create the MST. Let me check, someone write something. 2 times 60. Let me check, maybe we write, yeah. So let me remove the 60. Okay, thank you. So this is a configuration we already present in our switch, this one. Now we need to do the special configuration for the MST. So what we need to do, we need to first of all enable the MST. We need to enable that mode. Let me take this here. We need to enable. First point, we need to enable MST. After that, what we will do, we will go in the MST configuration. We will go inside that one. Then we will create the we need to give the name. We have 3 steps, or let me do here, let me show you. I already write in the notes. Let me show you the notes where we have. So by seeing, you will have much idea for that one. If we go here, this is a configuration. Just now what we done, this one, we created trunk and we created the VLAN. So first thing, we need to enable that mode. How we will enable? We will, like same thing as we are enabling. If you remember, we are saying spanning tree mode RSTP, like this before we done. Same thing like that we will do MST. By writing this command, we enable the MST. Before that one, we don't have the MST. After that, we need to go inside the configuration. How we will go? We need to write spanning tree MST configuration. When you write this one, we will have here MST. So we need to do 3 things. When we are configuring the MST, we need to define the name. This name will be same in all switches wherever we are configuring. So I am giving here name as test. You can give any name, but whatever name you are writing here, you need to write all in same switches, all same name in all switches. Then we need to give the revision number. This revision number we need to change. If we are changing any configuration, we need to upgrade this one. Like now I give 1. Later if you add some more VLAN, that time we need to upgrade this number. Manually we need to do. It will automatically will not upgrade. So this is a step, this is a procedure we need to follow, and then we will write instant 1. I will create 1 and I will assign this many VLAN in that one. Means I am creating one folder, I am adding that this many VLAN in that folder. Same thing, I will create one more instance and I will add this VLAN 40 to 60 in that one, in this scenario. But here what we will do, we are using the 80, so I will add 40 to like this, 40 will be go there, and here we will use 50, 60, 70 and 80. In our lab we are going to do like this. Same thing we need to configure in both switch. After that we can check it is working or not working. How we can check? We will write show spanning tree MST. When we write this one, we will get the detail about that one, and directly you can write show spanning tree and you will check. Before we have many tables. If we see, we have before many tables, separate table for VLAN 10, separate table for VLAN 20. Now we will have only 2 tables, one for the instance 1, another for the instance 2. So we will verify, and later if you want to make like a root bridge for MST1, like example I will say, when we do the configuration, only this switch become as a king switch. This switch become as a king switch for MST1 and MST2. So example, if you want to make king switch for MST1 this one and king switch for MST2 this one, we can do, and remaining we can enable the root guard, BPDO guard. All concept is same, all concept, everything is same. Only here what we are doing, our switch is using more CPU if they are running more STP. So we are creating the logical one group, in that one we are adding that one. That's all. This is only we are doing. So let's do that lab. So what we can do, we will write the command here. As we told, first of all we need to enable that one. Okay, I will go in the global configuration mode and then I will write spanning tree mode. If you press question mark, you have which mode we need. We need PVST mode or rapid PVST. We already done this one. We already learned this one. Now we need MST. So I will write here MST. So now MST is enabled here. MST enable here. Or let me disable here first of all and show you here. If I write here, let me, because I want to show you before enabling this one, how we will disable. We can write same thing no and write MST. So it will disable. It is disabled now. If I want to check, MST is working or not, we will write do show spanning tree MST. If I write here, you see here this switch is not in the MST mode. This one we will get before enabling. If we check, we will get this one, but now I will enable. When I enable, after that if I check, we will get the detail here. Okay, it is enabled. By default it is having MST 0. So when I enable this one, when I enable the mode MST, that is multiple spanning tree, if you see where I enable, here I enable, here I enable. When I enable with this command, I am checking. So if you see, we have the MST 0. By default this will be present in the switch. By default this will be present in the switch, and all the VLAN from 1 to 4094 it will come in that one. And if you see, we have only one table, one calculation only here. Okay, we have only one calculation, not so many calculation before. Separate for VLAN 1, separate for VLAN 10, 20, everything for. Now we have only one calculation, that is MST 0. Okay, so this way we can reduce the calculation of our CPU. But now we are having a MST 0. This is a default one, but we need to create MST 1, MST 2. So how we will create? First we enable, then we need to go in the configuration of the MST. So we will write spanning tree MST configuration. Now we are inside that one. Now we need to give the name. What name we need to give? Example, I will give name as test, and then I will write revision number. Whatever number we want to give, we can give. If I press question mark, I can give the revision number from 0 to this number. So we will give 1, and when we do any update we will give 2. Like this, manually we will increase. So I wrote revision number as a 1. Then I will write instance, and which one I need to create, I will press question mark. So we can create from 0 to 4094. So 0 already we have here. By default, when we enable, 0 will come in our switch. So now what I will do, I will press 1. I want to create 1. After that, if you press question mark, we need to put the VLAN. Which VLAN we need to add in that one. So I will write VLAN, and we created the VLAN 10, VLAN 20, and VLAN 30, VLAN 40. So I will put 4 VLAN in this one. Okay, I put 4 VLAN in this one, and now I will create one more, this one instant 2, and then I will put the remaining VLAN 50, 60, 70, 80. So I added here. So this one, this way we configure. So let me write this step here, what we are doing. First we need to enable. How we will enable, I will write here spanning tree mode MST. With this command we will enable the MST. After that we need to go in the configuration. So same thing we will write. Let me copy and paste here and edit this one. We will write spanning tree mode, we will not have, we will write MST, and then we will write the configuration like this. And then we will create the name, whatever name we are writing here. In all switch we need to give same name. Then we need to write the revision number. I am giving 1, and then instance, which one, 1 VLAN, how many VLAN we add here, 10, 20, 30 and 40 we add. Let me give comma here, and let me copy the second one from here. So how many switch you have, we can put this all in that switch. Now in our scenario we are taking only 2. Example, if you have more than 2 also, this only this configuration we need to put. So now our MST is enabled and it is ready. So this is a configuration which we use. So now I will copy this one, I will go in the other switch, I will paste this configuration in another switch also. So I go here, I will paste this one. Okay, so here also. Okay, now we can run. How we can write? We can write show spanning tree. Just write show spanning tree and press enter. Okay, now you will have only 3 tables. One is MST 0, this is by default one. Okay, this is MST 0. And if you see, you have the MST 1 just now, which we create instant 1, and you have another one is for MST 2. So now we are having only 3 calculation, not like 10 calculation before. And also if you want to check, we can write show, let me write here, show spanning tree MST. Show spanning tree MST configuration. If we forget what configuration we done, how we can check? We will write this command, show spanning tree MST configuration. So we can see here name we created as a test, and revision number we give as a revision number 1, and how many instances we have? 3. By default we have 1, 0. This is a 0. By default it all will come in this one. But now we are moving from here to here. In instant 1 we have the VLAN 10, 20, 30, 40, and instant 2 we will have 50, 60, 70, 80. So now what we can say, if we want to check also we can check. Like example, I want to check like let me write here show spanning tree bridge, if this command will support here or not, bridge. So here I am checking the MST, how many MST is running. Here it is showing the bridge ID and all the MST. Or another way I will show you, show spanning tree VLAN 10. I am writing VLAN 10. Okay, I am checking for VLAN 10. When I write here show spanning tree VLAN 10, I am getting MST 1. Why I am getting MST 1? Because I put if you see here in this one I put the VLAN 10 in the instant 1. That means MST 1 is having the VLAN 10. So that's why I am getting here MST 1. And if you see this is a root bridge. Yeah, let me, yeah. So this is a root bridge. Okay, let me make it small. So this one we put in the instant 1 and this one we put in the instant 2. When we are checking for the VLAN 10, it is showing us this is a root bridge. This guy is a root bridge for VLAN 10. And if you see here, if I change for VLAN 20, this guy only the root bridge for VLAN 20. All VLAN, this guy only the root bridge. If I write here like example for 30 VLAN, this guy is only the root bridge. Means this is the switch 2 is a root bridge for all. So all traffic will go for the switch 2. For 60 also it is there. For all VLAN whatever we have, this guy is a root bridge. So example, your manager told you to make what they told you. They told you, can you make the switch 1 will be for the MST1, root bridge for the MST1, and switch 2 for the MST2. So how we can do this one? Same procedure as we do before. Let me show you. We can do two methods. First thing, switch 1 we need to make for the, I will go here, okay. I will write spanning tree, MST. Let me put question mark to check here what we have. Show MST, then question mark, and here configuration. What I am doing here, let me write here, I am making this one as a root bridge. Switch 1 I am doing, this is a root bridge for which VLAN? 10, 20, 30, 40. This VLAN should be having the root bridge, this guy. S1 will be the root bridge for this VLAN. In simple, if I say MST1 will be the for MST1, switch 1 will be the root bridge. Okay. So how I can do? I will write this command. Let me write here. I need to write spanning tree, then MST, and which MST we are saying? MST1. So I will write MST1. After that we have option here. In our previous class we used the root command. If you remember, we use root and then we have the option, two option. What we told, we can say primary and secondary. If I write the primary as we done before in our last class, we wrote here primary. Means for the MST1 this guy will be the root bridge. And same thing we will write MST2 root secondary. Means this guy secondary for the MST2 and primary for the MST1. So this guy will be king switch for MST1, and this guy will be the king switch for MST2, and this is the second option. When the switch 1 is off or some issue, this guy will become for MST1 also as a king when we use the primary. And one more method we have. If we want to do another method, what we can do, instead of writing root here, we can write here priority. If you see priority, where if we have if we write the priority, if we put priority 0, that guy always become as a king switch. If you remember what we are saying, whenever the guy need to become as a king switch, he should have the low bridge ID. Low bridge ID. We are saying low bridge ID means low priority or MAC address. So if I put the priority as a 0 here, this guy will be the king switch for MST1. And I will go in this switch, I will write here MST2, and if I write priority 0, then this guy will become as a king switch for MST2. But anyhow, we will use the first method which we use, but this is also another way to do that one. So what I will do, I will write here I will press question mark, so I will write here root and then I will write primary. So with this command, this switch will be the king switch for MST1, and I will write same command spanning tree MST2. I will write MST2 and I will say if MST2 is not working, means the switch 2 is, if switch 2 is having any issue, this guy should become as a king secondary. So I am writing secondary. Same thing now I will go here, I will write here config t, and then here we will write spanning tree and MST1. For MST1 we will write root, and this is secondary. Switch 2 is secondary for MST1, and I will write spanning tree MST2 root, and switch 2 will be the primary. So this way what we will be done here, we are saying that I will save the configuration so we can reload also. So let me save here also the configuration. So what we have in this configuration, we are saying to the switch 1, you are the king for MST1, and if switch 2 is not available, you are also king for MST2. Same thing here, we are saying you are the king for MST2, and if switch 1 is not available, that time you will be king for MST1 also. Like this we are saying. So now we can verify. Before when I type here show spanning tree VLAN 60 or VLAN 30, this guy is king. But now if you check, I check for the spanning tree VLAN 30. If you see here, this guy is not a king. If I go here in this switch and if I check here, we will get this guy as a king. Let me write show spanning tree VLAN 30. So if you see, this guy is a king for VLAN 30, and VLAN 30 is present inside this one, MST1. Or if you want to check another way, we can say show spanning tree and we can write here MST1. If you see MST1, we get the MST1. This is a bridge MST1 here. And if you see for the here, like I will write show spanning tree VLAN 60, this guy is a king for VLAN 60. Why VLAN 60? This switch 2 is a king because we assign here, if you see, for the switch 2 we told instant 2, that is MST2 should be king for switch 2. So that's why when we are checking this 60, it is saying that this switch is a king switch, where this is a switch 2. But same thing, if we check this one in the switch 1, it will not show this guy is a king switch. If you see here, we are not getting, because as per our condition we are saying for the VLAN 50 till 80, switch 2 will be king. That's why here if we check, we are getting that one, and if we check here, it is not coming. Okay, so this way we can configure. So let me check here, we write the configuration in the switch 2 or not. Let me check in the notepad. So I will put this notepad same for your reference lab purpose. So let me check here what we have. Yeah, here I did not write, I think. So let me write here the remaining configuration. Let me make the big. So I will copy and paste this one first of all from here to here. This configuration will be same. If you have 100 switch, we will copy paste the same configuration in the 100 switch. So I will paste here. Now we done the some special configuration. What we done, I will copy and paste here. This one, one command this in the switch 1, making the king switch for this one, and this is the second command for the switch 2, and I will paste this here, and same command I will copy and paste, and but in the opposite way, means here will be 2 and here will be 1. I hope this is clear for everyone. Now what I will do, I will reboot this switch 1, and if you check here, I will write here show spanning tree 30. If you see for 30, this guy is not a king switch, and I will restart this switch. When we reboot this switch, this guy will become okay as a king. We can check that one. I can switch off this one, or I can reboot, because this in GNS3 when we reboot, it is not coming up. But anyhow, let me try here. I will write reboot. Okay, reload. Okay, I done reload here. This switch is going down. Now we can check here, this guy will become as a king switch. Let's go here. Still this guy not become as a king switch. Let me check here. This guy is okay. This switch reload and come immediately. That's why this guy become, and we cannot observe this guy become or not. Let me switch off this guy. I switch off this one. So now we can check here, this guy become as a king or not. So if you see switch 30, yeah, if you see here, this guy become as a king switch for VLAN 30. Why they become? Because we put this condition. We are saying that one, if the switch 1 is not available, then you need to become as a king. That's why this guy become. Okay, so now I will start this switch, and when the switch start, automatically this guy will become as a king after some time for VLAN 30. Same concept, whatever we learn, same concept will be there. Only here We are adding multiple VLAN in the one instance, and only one instance is running, not the individual. So our CPU and RAM we can save by running this one. But no need to worry, in the enterprise network you will not configure this one. If you are working in the ISP only, you will use, because in enterprise network we are using not more than 500 VLAN. So no need to run, because nowadays good switches we have, so we can run more than 500 VLAN, no issue for the CPU and RAM. So let me stop this recording.